Hi guys, welcome to my draw with me session. So, I'm Beelzebub's Twinkie. If you already know me, hi. If you don't know me, also hi. This is kind of new. I've never drawn without any music on, so this is gonna be a fun little venture of me talking to you guys, but also kind of talking to myself. So, I'm trying to get used to YouTube. As you see on the screen, I already drew out a base because honestly, it's hard out here trying to figure out what kind of pose you want. And so I used the handy dandy modeling tool because I'm like, I don't know what I want to draw. But here we got something. I like this pose quite a bit. It looks kind of like, I don't know, it's not elegant. That's not really the word I wanted to go for, but it's got like lounge pretty? I don't think that's the word either, but that's where we're gonna go. Lounge pretty guy. It is lounge pretty. Yeah. So if you want to draw with me, this is the time to get started. Okay, guys, let's get started. Firstly, I just like to talk about where I'm at, I guess, in my art journey life. I have flipped around all over the place, and by that I mean I started on Instagram for most of my art journey, which didn't really work out for me because I like to draw spicy art, and the people of Instagram did not approve. Do have a little bitterness in my soul from that, just a smidge. But I left Instagram for a little bit now. I'm on Twitter, and I just don't really get Twitter. But there's a learning period for everything. I've been on a break from actually drawing for a little bit just because I was so hooked up in spicy art, and then I was having so many problems with getting reported and whatnot that I kind of like lessened it a lot, and I moved on to a different passion of mine. But then I was like, I really miss drawing. So new goal is to continue my art, but now we are going to try to figure out how to make spicy art without making spicy art. And personally for me, I've always really liked drawing femboys. I just think they're really cute to draw, and you just got you a really girly boy, and I'm like, he's so cute, look at him. I also like to make a storyline kind of what I'm drawing. So this one's name is Rumiko. Why is it Rumiko? I have no idea, honestly. It was the first name that came to my head, and I was like, oh, Ron must create Rumiko. I don't know, that's just what came to my head. So we're gonna refer to him as Rumiko from now on. Rumiko is probably like 19, and he's like a gamer boy who probably likes to cosplay a little bit, and that's why you got him in this really cute puffy sailor outfit with a little move window, because honestly, who doesn't like a move window? Move windows are great, no matter if they are on women or guys. So don't judge me. As you can see, I started to color this piece, and I already outlined everything before I started on this piece because I'm so indecisive. Honestly, guys, I am so indecisive. I try not to be, but it's just my way. It's just my art way, guys. You know, you can't be too mad at that. It's my way. Okay? I'm so sorry. But I like to just do the outline up front. I figured I didn't want to make this video super long, because that's what's gonna happen if I recorded me doing all of the outlining without going like super fast, because my art style is a little inconsistent. I have some consistencies. I don't think everything changes. It's mainly like, for me, the hair. That's what changes for me a lot when I'm drawing. I have a more blocky hairstyle that I like to do, and then I have this more lined out hairstyle that I like to do. And I just, for the life of me, I can't choose which one is better in my heart. I just don't know. So that's probably like one of the longest things I spend time on is hair. Sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it's long. And then I'm really bad at drawing clothes. Like, me and clothes do not get along. I wish I could draw clothes better, but that means practicing. And I like drawing nudes. Drawing nudes are easier than trying to figure out an outfit. But here we are, guys. He's not nude. He's got his outfits on. He's totally cool. That skirt took me forever. I'm not, the folds though, you just saw me trying to figure out what I needed to do with the folds. I started at the top corner. It totally changed. It changed so much. I had messed up with the folds, and I was like, this is not right, but I didn't know what was wrong. So I went on Pinterest for like 200 years trying to look at ruffled skirts, and I was like, yeah, something's not right. But I fixed it. I don't think it's perfect, but I don't hate it, and I think it still gives the effect that I want. So I was pretty happy with that. That's probably the longest thing that was coming to outlining. Everything else was pretty simple. Eyes were pretty simple. I changed the eyes a few times when I was drawing the outline, but again, I'm so indecisive with things, and I didn't really know what kind of look I was going for, and I was like, punk cute, maybe punkish cute. He's not really punk, but he's a little punk. Like, that's why he's got that little, it kind of looks more like a bracelet, but I was going for like a thick ringish styled I'll punch you in the face glove, you know what I mean? And then I gave him a little piercing of his tongue, so I saw 60s, because yeah, my heart was feeling it. I was scrolling through so much Pinterest when I was drawing this. That's what I do now. When I draw, I just scroll through Pinterest because I need an idea of what I want to go for. Like, usually clothing, since again, I don't really like drawing clothing that much just because I'm not that good at it. But if I practiced more, I'd probably be better. But you know, your girl's here trying her best, but she drew close, so I feel properly good at my stuff. Let's see, I was adding little twiggles to his hair because I thought it was cute. At first, I hadn't thought about those little hair twiggles, but then I was like, it'd be so cute to add little hair twiggles. I was like, yeah, it's so cute to add hair twiggles. I'm just genius like that. Thank you for recognizing. And then I was going around coloring his eyes, like changing some minor overall color. I like to use white to outline the eyelashes and just the overall eye shape. Why? I don't actually know. I don't know if I saw somebody else doing it and then I was like, it's my thing now too. This is probably what I did. I don't know. But I don't remember for sure. But I've always really liked when you outline the eye with white. I feel like it gives it a nice little bold contrast to the rest of it. And, you know, they stick out a little bit better when you do that. And for the piercing, I was just trying to get the piercing out of the way right there. A little glint. Yeah. Piercing is probably the easiest part to knock out of this whole drawing. I was just changing colors. The hair, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the actual highlight. Plus, my computer hair highlights are different than my iPad's, and I was drawing on my Wacom for this, so I was like, oh, that's right, I didn't transfer all of my hair highlights over yet, so I was trying to figure out what hair highlight I wanted, but I just chose one. I was like, that one's not bad. Even when I do have my other ones, it still takes me a few minutes to choose. And then, you see, I have him with a little bit of a turtleneck. I was thinking about making it black, but then I was like, that's gonna be too dark. And so I was trying to play around with the colors for a second. And I messed around with everything. I was still messing with his hair. I was doing a lot, guys. Honestly, it's sometimes hard to remember what you were thinking while you were drawing all this. I kind of just like forgot my plan. I was like, okay, we make spicy art, and then I was just like in the mode. I was like, he's so cute, let's just color everything. I just left my whole area behind. There I was trying to take the eyes and put it under the hair. I've been having a struggle with this recently. I don't know what I've been doing, but I like to put some of the eyes underneath and then have a like transparent layer on top somewhere, just so it looks like you can see some of the eyebrows or like whatever's underneath the hair, but it's not on full volume. I just like the look, and I've been doing that for a while. Again, I don't know if I saw somebody else do that or I was just like, let's experiment. I don't know what's my style and what's me just having watched 2,000 different people draw, because I used to study speed paints, so I have like a whole bunch of like just drawing books. They're like mainly like manga drawing books because I'm that kind of person. Yeah, that's right, I have a few other that aren't manga, but that was like really how I started to draw. I was like, manga books. I was like, yeah, let's learn from manga. You know, that was my thing. But then I moved on. I have a couple that aren't manga, but I was like, okay, I need to figure out what kind of style I want because it's hard out here. So I was just like, what should I do? I was like, just watch speed paints, and luckily a lot of people were still making speed paints years ago. So I developed some of my own mixture between all these different people, and I, chose what I liked from what people were doing, and then I was like, vamos, here is my style. Even though I don't even know where my style is anymore, it doesn't like to stay the same, and then I'm indecisive. I'm just how I am. Also, right there's a little jump. I forgot to press unpause when I started coloring his face. I was listening to YouTube at that moment and I got too into it and I just forgot. But that's the only thing that I did not record when it comes to his coloring. So I did good otherwise. Please don't be mad at me. I tried my best. As you can see, I'm coloring his move window, and then I was doing his leg. I feel like his what is that leg? The left leg came out like super good. Like, I felt real proud of that leg. I was like, because sometimes my legs don't look that nice, but I try my best, and that leg came out pretty nice. And I was like, look at that kneecap. It's not there yet. You'll see it in a few minutes or so, I think, unless I jumped to another spot, but I don't think I did. I think I colored his full leg first, and then I changed what I was doing. So I'm pretty sure you'll see his nice little kneecap soon, because, you know, your girl just good like that. She's just so good, guys. She's so good. Okay, I did jump around. I jumped to right leg, and then I went to move window again. And okay, there's the knee. Please look at my beautiful kneecap. Rumaku's knee is just so pretty. I have never made such a pretty kneecap in my whole life. Please enjoy the kneecap. Yeah, look at it. It's so pretty. Why am I talking about the kneecap like this? I don't know, guys. I might be a weirdo. I won't apologize though, because, you know, that's just on brand for me. Next, I think I started working on the socks, maybe. Also, like, I go in and out a lot sometimes when I'm coloring, because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just looking at my drawing, and I'm like, where do I want to go next with this drawing? Okay, no, I was adding the second layer of shading. So for the second layer of shading, I like to sometimes, I don't always do this, it's just like a sometimes thing. If I'm feeling like real fancy with it, I like to add a brighter color. So for this one, I chose like a brighter purple as the shading point. I feel like it just makes the drawing pop a little bit. I feel like it could have been a little bit better than it was in this drawing, but I don't hate it enough, honestly. I think it could be a little better, but I still like it overall. So me, well, I was trying to figure out what this. I had this like look in my brain for his face. It was gonna be like, he's gonna have like a little bit of like mopey eyes to some degree, and I was like, purple would be right. And then I was like, that's not right either, guys. It's purple. So I left it alone for a second. You saw me moving my hands because I forgot about his hands for a second. I was like, oh, that's right, I gotta shade these things. I was going to add the lighter part in his hands, but honestly, every time I do this, like when it's in this darker area and there's shade, I don't really know if I should add the lighter part of the palm in or not. This time I left it alone. I don't feel like his hands like the main focus point. I mainly put his hand there because I thought it might be sexy. Maybe. I don't really know. I don't know if it's sexy more as just like, it's just like, oh, look at me here pose. You know what I mean? I don't know. Here's me adding a little bit of the droopy eye. It kind of looks like he's just like really tired to some degree. And I was adding the pinks in his eye, which is like a newer thing I started. I really like adding the pink inside of the eye. I didn't used to do this, but when I started, I was like, this is nice, and I really enjoy the effect when you do that. And then I added another layer of pink because I was like, I felt like it might needed it, and then I corrected it because I wanted a little bit of the eye color to go into the actual lash, because I'm just fancy like that, guys. I'm so fancy. Thank you for noticing my fancy levels. And then of course we have to add the blush. At this point, I was noticing something really important. What does he look like? He looks like a who. He looks a little bit like a who. You can't tell me I'm wrong. He does. I'm not afraid to admit that I accidentally made a who, okay? He looked like a who. Just a little bit. Just in the face, guys. Just look at the face. It's a who. It might be his nose. The nose plus the blush might give him that who effect. I don't know. And then I moved on to the eyeballs. At first I was gonna make his eyeballs like one color, but then I was like, you know what? No, we don't need to have one other eyeball, one colored eyeballs. I do that all the time. Let's make him special. He got 2 colored eyeballs because fancy. It's just so fancy. And I colored this eye a little bit differently than I do most of my eyes. It's not like super different or anything. I just like to add like little highlights and stuff in the lower part of the eyes, but I didn't do that this time just because I thought the dark look was kind of nice, and I was like, yeah, we'll leave it like that because I don't want it to ruin the effect. And I just added little highlights in the corner instead, and I made them drag out a little bit, which I don't do that. So we made different eyes this time, just a smidge, not a lot. So yeah, and I was like, okay, I was pretty happy with that. And then I started moving on to the tongue. I just love the tongue so much because I always struggle with the colors of the tongue because I'm like, okay, firstly, what color is the tongue? It's this weird pinky, non-pinky color. You're like, okay, it's pinky. It's like a pale pink. It's like darkened, and drawing the tongue's not that fun to me. I'm like, where is this? Okay, not draw. I'm not good at tongues either. I'm not good at drawing things, but I just meant I'm not great at coloring the tongue. And I was like, And I moved on back to the leg, and I was just adding a little bit of highlights. You know, when people are trying to figure out where they want the lighting to come from, I look at my piece and I go, can I use color? Let's add a little bit of yellow. And then I also think, why do you know anything, or why do you think you know anything about lighting? Because I don't. I am so bad at trying to figure out like lighting. Like, I have like a general aspect, like, you know, oh, the light comes from this side, oh, this side is dark and that side is light. You know, light theory and me, and it's just another thing I haven't really practiced on to that degree, really. But you know what? We out here doing our own thing. Don't come at me like that. I improvise. And if you thought I could draw like that, you were wrong. I've been faking it this whole time. It's called fake it till you make it. And yeah. Also, this part, okay, so I was like, what are we doing? I was like, we add teeth. Okay, I know his teeth look like really janky when I'm drawing it here, because I didn't really used to draw teeth like that. But then I was like, okay, teeth, it didn't look that bad. I was like, okay, it's okay. And I was like, what are we gonna do? And then I was like, braces? So I've never drawn any characters with braces, but I recently saw characters with braces, and I was like, oh, I've not done that before. I was like, maybe? I got really stuck between braces and no braces for a while, so you'll see me kind of like switching in between and going back and forth, and then I was like undoing it to try to figure out if I wanted it or not, if I liked no teeth, and I was redoing it to see if I wanted the braces, and I was just going back and forth. At some point, I just ended up copying the whole mouth, because I was like, I just need to paste on top of here so I can see which mouth I want. And I just undid everything, and I was like, okay, which one do we want? And I decided I was just gonna stick with the braces, because I kind of thought they were cute in the end. It took me a few minutes to decide, but I was like, these are good. I also tried to make the braces hearts for a second, but I don't know. It just was not working for me. It wasn't doing enough. It's in a small area, and I was like, yeah, nobody's really even going to see it in the end. So I was like, But you see, this was me trying, and then I was like, you can't really see. I'm like, why did I do this? So I just undid it, and then I was like, we're just gonna have regular braces. Yeah. Okay, what did I do next? Is it sock time? Well, you don't remember what you did. I don't. This is where I'm at. I just draw and I draw and then I'm like, huh. With the highlight, I wasn't sure if I wanted the highlight there. I was like, what is the point of this highlight? I was like, I'll leave it there. And I gave him a little bit of more leg highlight just for like, I guess the lighting's from this side now, because I'd already added the yellow light over that side. So I was like, it's just there. I didn't add too much more lighting effect because honestly, me and light just struggle. I know I already said that earlier, but we struggle so much. And I was like, why should I fight it when it's just gonna pain me so later? Okay, so there I started with the sock. So my one, well, it's not a rule, but my one thought when it comes to like white, if you have white, or I guess in this case it's not white, it's like a light gray. If you have white or light gray, use a blue or a purpley color to just give it a little bit of shade. I feel like, color theory, even though I don't really know that either. I just pretend I know what I'm doing. And then pink always has some sort of purple to me. Give it a nice little hint of something. When I was making this sock, and once I was done, I was like, they look kind of glossy. Now, that wasn't really my goal with these socks. I wasn't trying to make them per se glossy, even though that's how they turned out. Again, I just personally did not hate that they turned out kind of glossy. I was like, you know what? They don't look bad. I didn't want to redo it either. I was like, these don't look bad. I'm like, keep it the way it is. So I was like, we got a little bit glossy socks. Glossy cotton. I don't think that's a thing. I think I finished the socks there at that point. I think. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was moving on, I was like, what next? Okay, I moved on to the glove next. The glove, I was like, I had started off with a darker color than I normally did, so I was like, okay, this is already going to be the base color, and then I just added a little bit of light on top of it, and then I started shading, because I was like, we wanted to make it look a little crystally, not a lot, just like a smidge to give off the spike feel. So I was just working around with the colors for a second, trying to figure out what color was going to give me that look, and then I was trying to do a little like metal like highlight look. I think I did decent. Maybe I should have added a little bit more of the brownie red color, but maybe not. Again, I'm not too pressed about it. I think it came out okay there. It wasn't a perfect thing anyway, so weird glove bracelet thing that you got smacked, it might hurt a smidge, just a little bit. It won't do anything for real, guys. Don't worry. You're safe. You're safe with me. Probably. I also considered adding a little bit of like blood in this picture. Sometimes blood is my go-to move when I'm drawing. Not all the time, just sometimes. But then I was like, again, I'm really new to like trying to actually post on YouTube, so I was like, is blood allowed? So start thinking about other things, like, okay, if other YouTubers posted blood, I watch a lot of gaming like YouTubers, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen blood. I'm pretty sure. You just start questioning. Of course you can just look it up, and I did, and I was like, I think I can. I think I can. I think. I was working with the bow. I gotta say, I'm not super happy with the way the bow came out. I don't hate it, but I just don't love it either. I feel like it could have been different, but it was just we were just a little stuck there, and I was like, it's not dead awful. Let's just add the highlights and be happy. Woo! this part, I really like the way that one came. I was just kind of messing around with colors like I normally do. That's what I do. I just mess around with colors. I just do that all the time. I mess around with everything. It's just my theme. Just remember that. It's my theme, guys. It's my theme. I mess around with colors. But I was like, okay, lavender looks really nice over the pink. And so I was like, okay, let's lavender this girl up. Okay. Let's lavender this guy up. And he's going to be looking real fly with this lavender shade. I'm like, it looks good. So I was messing around with just trying to shade his skirt, and I was like, okay, let's keep going. And then I was like, maybe I did too much because I didn't want it to be out like full out, and so I was just erasing and adding and erasing, and then I was like, okay, let's keep going. Oh my god. I can just see some of my thought process when I'm doing this stuff, and I'm like, what were you doing? You were trying, but what were you doing? I'm not mad at anything. I think my drawing came out really cute, and I'm happy. Lukrembo is such a cutie. He's so adorable. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at him in the face. Look at him in the face and tell me he's not cute. You gotta be proud of your work. I feel like a lot of artists put themselves down a lot, and I'm not really different when it comes to that. For me, a lot, I get really depressed when you start looking at everybody's art and you're just like, oh my god, why? But that's not new. It's just a thing we artists do, and I'm trying to remember that my art is good, and you just gotta keep working at it until you get what you want. So for me, I know I need to work more on my anatomy, and me and anatomy just, again, I don't think I'm friends with a lot of art. I think me and art just might not be friends. I keep saying, oh, we're just not friends. That's probably because none of art is really my friend, and I have just been kind of moseying on this whole time. I'm a self-taught artist. I've took like a few classes in person, but nothing serious. I've pretty much just learned everything on my own, which is what I prefer. But I have to remember that just because I don't like something at the moment doesn't mean it's the end of the world, and you just need to keep improving yourself. Also, stop staring at your art for 200 years until you hate it, future me. I do that a lot. Does anybody else, once they're finished with a piece, they'll just keep staring at it for the next week or so, and I was like, oh my god, this piece is so good. I love this piece so much. And then after all that staring, you're like, oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. That's what I do. I'll stare at it until I'm tired of it, and I'm like, I hate it. What did I do? Why did I think this was good? I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not. Somebody out there does the exact same thing, if not most of you. Most of you do the same thing as me. I believe I'm not alone. I hope. But, I also get jealous of artists who have a simpler art style sometimes too, because sometimes a simple art style makes things easier. For me, I like doing detailed stuff sometimes, but I don't like the effort that I have to put into detailed stuff, and I just get unmotivated sometimes when I have to put more detail into it. That's also, again, why I don't like planning out things too far in advance for certain drawings. This drawing, I didn't plan out any of the background. I also don't have the background actually being shown on me working at it until you see the full fast time lapse I did with actual recording section in Clip Studio Paint. You can see it there, but on this area I didn't, because I'm just so indecisive. I knew the background was going to be pink, probably. Okay, I didn't actually know. I had a thought maybe I'd put it at pink, and I did. I put it at pink. I found a color in the first few seconds, and I'm like, this is perfect. And then I rushed through the background. Not really. It took me forever to finish that background once we get there, but again, I didn't actually record that part for this because I can tell you what I'm thinking while I'm doing the background. But I feel like it's not worth it to talk about it. Maybe it is, but at least just not for this video. Especially since I didn't plan it out. Maybe in one of the ones that I actually planned the background out. Yeah, see? Yeah, there we go. Maybe in a different one where I plan it out. Maybe I'll do that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye. Bye. It's only 30 seconds left of this thing, I think. Yep. Bye.